Well, hi everyone, and welcome to Community Journal. Thank you very much for joining us. We really appreciate it. And here we are in November, which I can't believe.
I don't know where that fall went.
Yeah, I don't know where the whole year went.
I
It's
know.
unbelievable. We are about to have the coldest weather since last winter. Temperatures may get into the lower 20s in the next few days. So just a reminder, if you have outdoor faucets, you need to shut the supply off in your cellar and then crack open the faucet itself. That's very, very important. The pipes can burst very, very easily. So you shut off the supply in your cellar and then you crack open the faucet itself. Also, you have to drain your outdoor shower and also leave that open so that what little bit of water might remain won't crack a pipe. I made that mistake one year.
Yes, we learned our lesson.
We learned our lesson, yeah.
And now he's very prompt about it.
I'm very prompt about it now, so it's going to get really cold this weekend.
And get out your woolies.
Oh, that's for sure. My goodness. Well, we have an interesting show this week. We're going to start off with Conservation Trust, and they've sort of teamed up with AmeriCorps. Hannah Schmidt and Tyler and Mike and Dinah sat down with them. So let's take a look and see what's going on.
Hello, we're here with the Harwich Conservation Trust, and today we are going to be introducing a new person to this group, and that is Hannah Schmidt. She is an AmeriCorps volunteer, and she's here to work with the Harwich Conservation Trust and the Conservation Commission for the whole year. So we're very excited to welcome her. And as well, of course, we have Michael Locke, who is the Executive Director, and Tyler Maycath, who is the Coordinator
Outreach and Stewardship
Outreach
Coordinator.
and Stewardship Coordinator.
Thanks for having us, Dinah.
Yeah, so nice to see you all.
Yeah, we're so glad to have Hannah on board
Yes.
through AmeriCorps.
And I'm
Yes.
so happy to be here.
Great, great. So welcome, Hannah. And I would love to hear, first of all, just a little bit about your background and what drew you to this work. And then it would be wonderful to hear about what you're really doing here.
Yeah. And I graduated an environmental studies major with a minor in public policy and ethics. So after graduating, I was really curious, like, what am I going to do? Like a lot of college graduates have that question. So I knew that I had some type of AmeriCorps program in mind that I'd like to be able to serve in. And there are AmeriCorps programs all over the country. But the Cape Cod AmeriCorps program really stood out to me because it's really a diverse opportunity. Not only does it include being able to go out in the field and do environmental restoration work, which is something that is very appealing to me, but also it provides an opportunity to be able to get an opportunity to serve with someone possibly from a nonprofit organization, or someone like Amy Yazowski, who I'm serving with the Department of Conservation, and more of a local government perspective. And then Cape Cod in general is just a really biodiverse area, which is an amazing opportunity to be able to really get out here and enjoy the beautiful environment that you have, but also be able to see how local government and nonprofit organizations work within it.
And,
Great.
and you're from Oregon, and
Yeah.
had you ever been to the Cape before?
I have never been to the Cape.
Right.
I have never
Wow.
even been to Massachusetts.
Wow, that's bold.
Yeah,
That's
well,
great.
kind of.
Yeah.
I figured it's a year of service or 11 months of service, so I figured that I might as well go off because Oregon has a very, very close place in my heart. That's where my family is. That's where I grew up. I don't know if I'm going to go back. I don't know what I'm going to do after this year. But yeah, I've heard that the Cape sucks you in. A lot of AmeriCorps members say that you really, once you serve here, a lot of people stay because it's such a unique place. It's beautiful, and there are lots of opportunities here.
Well, that's great. I'm so glad you're enjoying it.
Thank you.
And I know your work is very, very useful. Tyler, do you want to talk a little bit about what you've been doing and with Hannah and what kinds of things she's engaging in with you?
Yeah, Hannah serves with us 1 day a week on Tuesdays. So she has a 3-day, what's called individual placement. So she's with us 1 day. She's with Amy in conservation another day. And her 3rd day is spent with Robin Kelly, the cemetery department. And I would love if you could talk about that work.
Yeah.
Also, Hannah, but for HCT, we focus a lot on engagement, which is critical for us to accomplish our stewardship objectives on our various properties around Harwich. And Hannah also helps us out with outreach, especially in terms of citizen science projects. One of the projects Hannah is working on right now is she is creating a map of all our eastern box turtle sightings that have been submitted by volunteers around town. And that map will help us identify parcels that are critical for conservation around the town of Harwich. So very useful.
Yeah, that'll be great to put that all together. I know we've talked
Yeah.
about box turtle sightings and what people do when they sight a box turtle, but this is great. You're now putting it in some kind of a mapping program, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, outreach is
Yeah.
a lot of what I do throughout all of my different. So like Tyler said, on Tuesdays, well, Mondays and Fridays as a group of AmeriCorps, we all go out into the community, whether it's in Wellfleet, in Eastham, in Harwich, and Brewster, sometimes all the way out in Barnstable or even Bourne. We do some type of environmental restoration work. We do a lot of shell fishing. We do environmental in elementary and middle schools. But then Tuesdays through Thursdays, we have individual placements. And I serve with Tyler at the Harwich Conservation Department on Tuesdays. And then on Wednesdays, I serve with Robin Kelly in the cemetery department. And there we're really working on the program of the Island Pond Arboretum and the startup of that, which is really amazing.
Yes.
And
yeah,
then
very
on-
exciting.
Yeah, it is very exciting because I used to take kids out and do environmental education in Eugene in the college that I went to at the local arboretum
Right.
there. Yeah, so that was a very interesting
Well, that's
connection.
good
Yeah.
synergy.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was really, really cool.
That's terrific, and it's a beautiful, beautiful place.
It is.
Just
It's
so many
gorgeous.
different, diverse
Yeah.
pieces of plants and things.
Yeah, and I get to
that
work
kind
on
of
my
thing.
plant ID,
Trees,
which
yeah.
I always enjoy.
Yeah,
So
that's
And
great.
for the Arboretum project through Robin Kelly, the town cemetery department, what are some of the steps that you have to take to get a sense of what direction it needs to go? Do you
Yeah,
need to ID
so
the plants?
I
or-
had no idea what it took to actually create an arboretum before this, because the last project that I was working on in my senior year was more of the implementation of environmental education. But you have to have 25 species of trees within the arboretum. You have to have a certain amount of acreage, I forget what it is, but you have to have a certain amount of acreage for the property to be even claimed as an arboretum. And then you have to have specific outreach programs that happen every month, I believe. And so that's something I'm also working on. I just created a fall bingo activity for kids to go out in the arboretum and conduct. So Robin will be collaborating with a lot of the elementary schools close to the cemetery and having the kids come out and identify different tree species within the arboretum, and then also like different cool cemetery historical facts, specific authors that have been buried within the cemetery, different World War veteran, different symbolism within the cemetery. So that's something really fun.
That's terrific.
Yeah.
She's a fount of information.
She is, yeah. Working with her has been a blast.
Yeah, well, that's
Yeah.
great. It's wonderful to have you here.
And then on Thursdays, I work with Amy in the conservation department of the town of Harwich. And we do a variety of things there, some collaborating with Robin Kelly with the Arboretum, and then I'm going to do a lot of conservation property, like monitoring, going out, walking around the properties, making sure there's no encroachment or dumping, investigating the invasive species that are there, and what conservation management techniques need to take place.
Sounds diverse and wonderful.
Yes,
That's
yeah.
Really great experience
A
for
very
you, and
well-rounded.
so nice to have you here with all of your interests and excitement, too.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, yeah. So, Michael, would you like to talk a little bit about the last lot? I know we discussed it last time, and I know you might like to mention it.
Sure, yes. Thanks for the opportunity. So the last lot, we'll see a map probably on your screen in a bit, and as well as some photos. The last lot is the final 1 acre wooded lot that's tucked next to the 27 acre Coysbrook Woodlands. There you see it on your screen. The parcel in red is the last lot. So recall back 22 years ago, back in 1997, Harwich Conservation Trust acquired the first portion of that green area that you see. And that was about 16 acres, about 11 lots that the trust acquired, and embarked on its first ever fundraising campaign to save land. $225,000 to save those 16 acres. And then over the years added additional acreage, including another 3 acres and 6 acres another year to the north, donated by the state of Charles Hall, and then a couple 1-acre pieces to the south next to that last lot that were also purchased from the Stewart family, who sold that first 16-acre piece to the trust back in 1997. So fast forward 22 years later, here we are.
What a long way we've come.
2019, and we have an opportunity to preserve that final piece of a very scenic and ecologically diverse conservation
Yes.
puzzle. And you see that lot pictured to the right there in on your screen, and the water of Coys Brook in the foreground reflecting the trees of the last lot. And you see that extensive marsh along about 450 feet of shoreline of that 1-acre lot. For a small property, that certainly has a lot of biodiversity.
Yes.
There's a range of wildlife, from raptors to songbirds to monarch butterflies. We also strongly believe that box turtle cross or inhabit the property, because we have seen box turtle crossing Lothrop Ave not far away, and also box turtles on the Coys Brook Woodlands area just to the north and west. So it's a very important piece to preserve. There's a Cooper's hawk, and just before that you saw butterfly weed, and tucked in those butterfly weed blossoms was actually a monarch caterpillar. That photo was taken by one of our volunteers, Gus Romano, and this one as well. These are wildlife species right on the landscape.
Yes, it is a spectacularly beautiful place.
It
and
really
I
is.
went walking last weekend,
Oh,
yes.
what
it
a
is.
gorgeous time of
It
year.
was beautiful. It was a perfect day, and we were just blown away with the beauty and the diversity of it, really. It was,
Oh,
yeah.
wow, that's
it
fantastic
was
to hear.
fabulous. At your recommendation, of course.
Yeah.
Terrific.
Having these conversations made a big difference, so.
And you raise
great.
another point, and that is not only last lot
Yeah.
protects the biodiversity, the habitats and the wildlife within, but also the visitor experience to the nearby walking trail.
Yes,
Right.
yeah.
So, and it also helps protect the Coys Brook water quality, and by extension the Herring River, because Coys Brook is the major tributary to the Herring River. So a range of environmental importance.
Into the final stretch.
Into the final
Yes.
set of matching funds.
It's
So-
amazing to me that you say 22 years ago was your very first fundraising effort.
Right, yes.
So that's great. So thank you so much for coming.
yeah.
Appreciate all of your time, and so nice to meet Hannah and to see Tyler and Michael and to hear about all the wonderful things happening with the conservation here in Harwich. We're very fortunate. Thank you. This is Dinah Lane for Harwich Channel 18.
And we thank Hannah and Tyler and Mike for sitting down with Dinah, and
Very interesting, as
very
always.
interesting, yeah. And you know, they always do a great job, and of course I always have to talk. Photography is
I know.
just fantastic. You know, speaking of which, the Harwich Conservation Trust is sponsoring a nature photo walk, tips and techniques, on Saturday, November 30th. About this nature photo walk. It's going to be Bell's Neck area, which is just a gorgeous area to take pictures. Sponsored by the Harwich Conservation Trust, join a photo walk through the Bell's Neck Conservation Lands and explore scenic locations to create memorable images. And that's certainly a place to get memorable images.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. You will be guided by experienced photographer Jerry Beetham to help you with your technique. Learn a little bit about the human history of the area, as well as some of the plants and animals that call this conservation their home. Bring your camera and have fun. All skill levels are welcome, from beginner to advanced. You can have a simple phone camera all the way up to a digital SLR. So, you know, every kind of camera. You will get great pictures no matter what you have for a camera. The time is 3 to 4:30 p.m. And again, it's Saturday, November 30th. And the rain date is Sunday, December 1st. And there is a cost to this. It's $20 cost, and the space is limited to 12 participants. So you do have to have advanced reservation. You do have to have an advanced reservation. So make sure you do that. And again, the location is the Bell's Neck Conservation Lands. And the walk distance is about 1.5 miles, so that's not too bad. And again, that 1.5 miles, you probably get 200-300 pictures.
Oh, I bet.
You know, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous area.
Yeah, it really is. So you can go online and you can click to reserve. I don't see a phone number in front of me here, but you can get a hold of the Harwich Conservation Trust. So I'm sure they'll guide you to where you have to be. Up to you now, Eileen. Go
All
ahead.
right, well, I have a lot of upcoming events to tell you about, so get out your paper and pen. And speaking of November 30th, Jack, it's going to be a busy day in Harwich. At our own cultural center on Sisson Road, there's going to be an open house, Shop Small Saturday,
Oh, boy.
which means you're going to support local Cape Cod artists. And you're going to see them in their working studios and at their indoor market bazaar. So from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. on November 30th at the Cultural Center, you are going to be invited to be part of the special event by exploring the incredible artwork of local artists in painting, photography, sculpture, mixed media, handmade jewelry, and more. This will be the perfect opportunity to gather with your community, support local artists, and shop small. And also on the same day, and obviously a different section of the Cultural Center, there's going to be a holiday wreath decorating workshop. So if you would like to make your own holiday wreath, here's your chance to do it. There will be a pre-registration discount of $10 off, $50, which is the price you'll pay, when you register before November 25th. As I mentioned, the ticket price at the door is $50. Each person will be provided a double-faced balsam 12-inch wreath, as well as a large assortment of live mixed greens to add to the wreath, like noble fir, silver fir, berry juniper, etc., and a large assortment of adornments, pine cones, drums, gift boxes on picks, shells and snowflakes, glass balls, etc. Laura, who will be doing the workshop, will guide each person in a fun, creative way on how to embellish and adorn their wreaths while fostering their own creative flair. Materials for attaching the items, such as wire, shears, wooded picks, scissors, etc., will also be provided. So a very busy day in Harwich on
Yeah.
November 30th.
That's quite a workshop.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
I
it
know.
really is.
Yeah.
And you can walk
Oh,
away.
I think you probably would have to pre-register. Yeah,
Yeah, I would
if you
think so.
pre-register, you get a discount of $10 off. And I'll give you the number: 774-212-3482.
Very
There you
good.
go.
And you walk out of there with a very nice wreath.
I know.
Yeah, that's very nice.
Yeah.
Very good. The next piece today, Dinah sat down with Joe McParland, the Community Preservation Committee, and they're going to bring us up to date. So let's take a look at that right now.
Hello. We're here today with a member of the Community Preservation Commission, and this is Joe McParland, who has come to talk with us about what the commission does and how it's financed and who it finances, and general information that should be of interest to anyone here in Harwich. So thank you for coming in,
Thank you.
Joe. It's
Thank
very
you.
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And do you want to talk a little bit about what you understand to be the role of the Community Preservation Commission?
I will try. So
Okay.
I'm a brand new member,
Yes.
and the Community Preservation Committee, its mission, as I understand it, is to preserve and improve the community through projects, improve its character, keep the update of preservation of some of the historic buildings, and we can talk a little bit about what they've done so far. But I'm amazed at all the projects they've done and what they have coming on. So.
That's great. How do you get your money? How does the commission get its money?
So we get on your tax bill in town. It's the second is CPC, and it's a 3% levy every year on the taxes of everyone that owns a property, and we get that money there.
So it's important for people to know that, actually, because that's what CPC means on that tax bill.
Yes.
Some people may not realize it, but
Yeah.
that's what it goes for.
Yeah, it's
Great to know,
probably one
yeah.
of the smallest numbers are there, but it's a big number for us. It collects a lot of money to do some of the projects we do.
Yes, yes. So do you want to talk a little bit about some of the past projects, some of the current things
Sure.
that are being funded?
Sure.
And I know you're in a process now of considering new
Yes.
projects and new applications.
Right.
So that's interesting
As
too.
you know, right. So one of the major projects or things that they have created over the years is we've acquired 120 acres of open space land over our time. So that's a lot of acreage. And they're parcels that hopefully someday they'll be built on for low to moderate income and senior housing, which is all one bucket. So some of the things they've done, and you've probably seen these around town. I've watched the ends of them, and I haven't had time to see them from the beginning, but they've been projects over a long period of time. Brooks Park Library, the Chase Library, the bike trails. White House Field continues to get updated. And one of the biggest things and the biggest love of mine that I do a lot of on the senior side, but I'm very passionate about housing. And we've taken a big role in creating the Housing Trust. And the Housing Trust is run by Chris Clark and 4 other members on the trust. It was a bit, they came in front of us last night. It was a bit bumpy at the beginning. Donnie Howell was there, and he was saying how it took a little while to get us up and running, but now they are up and running.
Yes.
And we gave them the first $500,000 to get started. And they have a consultant, and of that, some of that money, they have a consultant helping them get the projects and pick and choose the parcels. And there's a bit of process to that because it is a municipality. You just don't go and use the $500,000 as a trust and buy a piece of land. You got to go to town. You got to go to the selectmen. The selectmen
Yes.
say it's okay. And
There's many people to talk to.
yes,
Yep.
yes. And so that trust is. They were in front of us again last night for another $500,000. And we're talking about that to see how that's going to work.
Okay.
So.
So that's a wonderful thing for the town. We
Yeah.
certainly need it.
Yeah,
Yep.
it really is.
Okay. And I know the facelift on the Brooks Library was quite dramatic.
It was.
Really, really beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful work. So
Yeah.
it speaks for itself, really, the
Yeah.
importance of these funds. Yeah. So right now, you're having a public comment and
Yeah, so we have
public hearings and
15, applications, and that we have right now. The money seems to change by the pennies every day, but approximately we have $3 million to give out to these 15 projects, and my math shows us about 600,000 shy.
I see.
So somebody's not going to get
So
paid.
decisions need to be made.
But it's
Yeah.
funny though when you find you have the first people up with parks, and so the new at the elementary school, we're going to do that all over all that rec. All in the back of the booklet, they all wrote little things.
Oh, at the meeting?
No, they handed us this book, and there was 50 different letters
Oh,
from these
sweet.
kids. And then
Yeah.
Parents came, and they were up first, but it took, I got almost an hour to get through all the people that wanted to talk. And we were commenting how those kids are.
I see.
Yeah.
So it
We're
makes
so
it very
quiet and
personal, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Makes
really is.
Clear what their passions are.
Yeah.
That's important for the
It's
committee
a lot
to
of
hear.
money, but it's well worth it. What they're going to do now versus the wood to the material they have now is,
Right.
I think it's going to be well worth it.
Uh-huh.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Great. Great. And I know these are all publicized by being shown on Channel 18.
Yeah, so Channel 18, and we have,
So anybody can watch.
I guess, yeah, we're on, every time we're on, it's on
Yep.
Channel 18.
Okay.
And on the website, most importantly, there's a list of dates coming up for all of these projects. And the dates that are, we have 3 more dates coming up, I believe, in November.
For meetings?
For
Is that what you
meetings,
mean? Yes.
To,
Okay.
to have all these projects.
Discussed.
Right.
Okay.
Right, and someone comes and explains what it's about and what the application really means to the community.
It's a very open process.
Yeah,
Seems really great.
it really
Yeah.
is, and people come,
Yeah.
and they have a
Yeah.
lot to say in a good way. You know?
Excellent.
I love it. The pro and the con.
Yep.
You know, why are we
Okay.
spending so much on this and not on that? And it's
Right.
it's a great
Right.
process.
It's a
you're
community
right.
process.
Yeah, yeah.
Excellent. Well, it shows a lot of engagement.
Yeah.
So it's great. Do you have anything else you would like to highlight with regard to the work of the committee? Or
Yeah, no, just that it's interesting. I'm on the housing committee, and I was picked with historic is on there, conservation, housing authority. Every different group
is represented?
is represented.
Yeah.
And that's important.
So there's a lot of cross-fertilization.
There's
and
communication. Of all the money
Very
we're going to give out,
important,
there's tons of balance.
Yes.
You know, so when you look at the money already 10% is broken out for housing, rec, conservation, and then undesignated, which is the biggest pot, which
Yeah.
allows us to put money to something that has a priority, I guess. In the
Or maybe unexpected.
or maybe unexpected.
Yep,
Yeah.
something new.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Okay.
it's a great group.
Well, welcome to the committee.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for coming on to talk
Yeah,
to us about
appreciate it.
It's important for the community to know about.
Yeah.
Very important.
Yeah. I hope they come to some of the
Yeah,
meetings.
and check out the website,
Yeah.
because that's the way to find out about what's happening with the commission. So this is Dinah Lane for Channel 18. Thank you so much.
Well, we thank Dinah and Joe for bringing us up to date, and a great interview.
Yes.
And, she always does a good job.
Yes, she
And,
does.
Nice to see Joe there, too.
Yes.
You have something?
I have a couple of somethings, Jack.
Okay,
Yes.
very good.
The Friends Annual Seniors Holiday Lunch on December 3rd at 11:30 in the morning. And where do you ask is this going to be held? At the Hidden Cove Cafe at the Cape Cod Regional Technical High School, right here on Pleasant Lake Ave in Harwich. It's only $12, cash or check payable, and I can give you that address. It's capital F as in Frank, H as in home, COA, 100 Oak Street, Harwich, Mass. 02645. And the lunch, I believe, is a buffet. It includes an appetizer, while the appetizer is served butternut squash soup, and then there is a buffet. Penne pasta marinara and meatballs, roasted rosemary potatoes, steamed cauliflower, baked codfish, I'm getting hungry, Jack,
Boy.
and carving station for roast top round of beef. The dessert also will be plated and served, and it will be apple whipped cream. So that's a lot of lunch for $12. You must RSVP by November 25th, and you can do that by calling this number, 508-432-5050, and let them know then if you need transportation. And I have
good.
another, talk about this one as well.
Oh, why not?
Why not? Well, if you don't want to make your own holiday wreath, you can go to the Garden Club of Harwich Holiday Boutique and pick it up on Saturday, December 7th from 9 to 12 right here at the Harwich Community Center on Oak Street. There'll be handmade fresh wreaths, holiday sweets, holiday centerpieces and decorations, nautical gifts, and handcrafted ornaments. So again, that's Saturday, December 7th from 9 to 12, and you can keep Harwich beautiful by supporting the Garden Club of Harwich.
You know, the Garden Club does some
Oh,
things.
as you know, I was
Yeah,
a
you
member
were a
for
member
many
for many
years, and
years,
I know hands-on,
Yeah.
you
And
know,
they work
they do
hard.
a
I
wonderful
mean,
job.
I remember doing some video in garages.
Yes, of the
putting
workshops.
stuff together.
Yep,
and,
I remember that
very,
too.
very hard workers.
Yes,
Yeah,
yeah, they put a lot of time and effort and talent into their crafts,
Absolutely.
and the prices are reasonable,
Yes, they are.
and you have beautiful things to decorate your home with, and you
That-
don't have to do it yourself.
That's-
And you're supporting
that's
the
the
Garden
important
Club,
part.
which decorates our
That's the
town, so
most
there you go.
important, Yeah, very good. Thanks, Eileen. The Harwich Community Center will be partnering with Cape Cod Cares for Our Troops. They're going to hold a collection drive for our troops. This is very important. Cape Cod Cares for Our Troops has been sending care packages to our deployed troops since 2005, supporting our Blue Star families, veterans, wounded warriors, and honoring our Gold Star heroes and their families. We need your donations to show our soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines that they are not alone. We welcome any donation that you are able to contribute. You know, some of the items that are on the wish list, hats, gloves, scarves, I won't read the whole list, batteries, mini battery-powered fans, which you might not think of, paper and pens, travel games, sheets, crossword and Sudoku puzzles, puzzle books, body lotion, hand sanitizer, snacks, non-perishable snacks like candy, gum, coffee singles, hot chocolate. And the list goes on and on. There's so many things that you can contribute, and they really could use it. The donation collection end date is coming soon. It's November 15th, so that's the important thing. In order for these things to get where they need to be, November 15th is the last day that you can contribute. The other thing that they're looking for, and this is even more important, the donors to include personal letters of appreciation. These are often the most cherished items in the care packages. So, it's really nice if you can do something like that. You can drop off your donation off at the community center in the specified donation boxes located in the front lobby. If you have any questions, you can call 508-430-7568. And that's Cape Cod Cares for Our Troops. So,
Very important. So when
extremely
you're shopping, just throw in a couple of extra things and bring them on over to the community center.
Absolutely.
The troops will appreciate it.
Now, we just want to remind you that
Speaking of the troops.
speaking of the troops, the town of Harwich is going to be having a Veterans Day ceremony on November 11th, Veterans Day, at 11 a.m. at Island Pond Cemetery. There'll be welcoming remarks, the Pledge of Allegiance by our scouts. The national anthem will be sung by the Monomoy Ladies a cappella group. That'll be beautiful.
Yeah.
And the invocation by Father Mark Tremblay. Greetings by Selectman Larry Ballantyne. And I'm sure that will be great, because Larry's a great speaker.
He is.
And the guest speaker is Lieutenant Colonel Charles D. Carroll, United States Air Force retired. And that should be a great speech, I'm sure. The benediction will be Father Mark, and then taps will be played by a trumpet trio. So that'll be
Beautiful.
That'll be really beautiful.
Yeah,
So that's
nice
11
tribute.
a.m. on Veterans Day, November 11th. And we want to remind you also that the town offices are all closed on November 11th, Veterans Day. So the town offices are closed. I believe the gym is closed, is that right? I think the gym is also closed. So, that is a holiday. It gives us a chance to stop and think about those men and women that have kept us safe for so many years.
And still are.
And still are doing
Yes.
it, yes. Folks, that is our show for this week. We really appreciate you joining us on behalf of all of us here at Channel 18. Thank you so much.
And please take advantage of everything we've told you about going on in our little town of Harwich. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. Take care, everybody.